One of the most renowned and continuously debated topics in every culture is the topic of death. The Slavic culture commonly uses myths and folk tales to explore the concept of death, its varying impacts on people, and what may happen to someone after they die. The topic for my final essay is going to be exploring interpretations of death in Slavic mythology. I will do so by studying the origins of a few specific creatures and deities and how they connect to the overall concept of death. The creatures I will be discussing in my essay and summarized in this presentation are the Russian Rusalka, Polish Stryga, and Ukrainian Mavka. Rusalka are referred to as a kind of Slavic nymph or siren. They are called unclean dead and are created from the unnatural or premature death of a woman, girl, or infant. Their human death can be violent, tragic, or done to a jilted woman. They commonly reside in rivers, brooks, swamps, sit in tree branches, and sometimes run through fields. They are known to be vengeful and aim to lure, seduce, and kill men that wander close to their territory. The next creature I'll be discussing is the Stryga. It's a vampiric demon creature from Polish mythology, primarily females. They are created from the death of a young person, someone who's been buried alive, and from babies born with fully formed teeth. They survive solely by feeding on humans' blood and organs, and lose more and more humanity the longer they live this way. These two creatures in Slavic mythology depict the idea that death is a traumatic event that affects specifically women after death. The last of the creatures I will explore is the Mavka. These creatures are a general term of a soul of the dead. They are created from the death of an unbaptized baby, child killed by their mother, or an unnatural death. They can be depicted as children, but are most commonly portrayed as beautiful women. They share many similarities to Rusalke, but reside in forests and caves instead of water. They also occasionally lure and kill men to exact revenge for their death. I will also be analyzing the origins of two Slavic deities, the first of which is Morana, also called Mara. The last figure I will be analyzing in this presentation and my essay is Koshchei the Deathless, also called Koshchei Besmirny. Morana is the Slavic goddess of death, winter, and sometimes harvest. She is said to personify barrenness, illness and disease, starvation, frost, darkness, and the end of life or nature. She is often depicted as either a beautiful woman or an ugly old woman. She is thought to bring about the end of the season and the death of crops. This is in preparation for the arrival of spring and her goddess counterpart, Vesna. The last figure I will be discussing in my essay is Koshchei the Deathless. He is an immortal male antagonist from Russian folklore. He is commonly depicted as an old skeletal sorcerer, wizard, or sometimes demon. His name, the Deathless, stems from the tale that he achieves immortality by hiding away a physical personification of his death. He is known in classic Russian tales to often kidnap women of noble birth and hide them away from the protagonist of the story. Now that I've stated a brief summary of each topic of my essay, I will go through my main points that I hope to cover in my final essay. First, I will do a much more detailed overview of the origins and creation of each figure. Later, I will examine how death is experienced differently by men versus women. And by learning all of these things, I hope to discover how these varying interpretations of death evolve the overall concept of death in Slavic mythology. My last 4 slides are my primary sources, secondary sources, and my images from this presentation.